Hi guys, how is everyone going today? Let's shuffle back over into somewhat into the middle of the screen here. Hey Eric, good to see you here. Hi Chevy. We got Fisher's Aquatic World, Blake's Aquatics, good to see you here. Aqua AZ, good to see you. Pardon me. So yes, I'm sorry I haven't been streaming lately, but my new job has been absolutely hell at the moment. Hi Charlie. Hi Bobby K. Pardon me. So yeah, my new job is absolutely hell because they are probably about uh, 3 to 4 months behind in paperwork, and I've got to try and catch up. So I've been doing long days in the so-called office, and unfortunately, I have not been able to film any videos. Or even get to the live stream last week. I didn't finish work until 7:45, so it's a half an hour drive to get home, so there was no way known I was going to make the live stream last week. So that's where we are with that. But I've got a bit of a flip sheet here. So, I suppose if anyone watched the vlog yesterday, you might have noticed that I am going to be changing my changing my live stream schedule and video schedule. And Blake, I really wish I could, but I am a long way off being able to quit my job and make YouTube videos. I'd go bankrupt very, very quickly. But yeah, I'm going to be changing my live stream and video schedule. So my live streams will be the first and third Monday of every month. So that'll be in 2 weeks' time. Will be my next live stream. On the in between weeks, I'll be releasing a video. So it gives me a little bit more time to film and edit, and make sure it's up to quality for you guys. Because I've been trying to get videos out, and I've got about I've got about half an hour of footage to an hour worth of footage. I can't remember how much I've got now. Filmed on a couple of videos that I've been trying to piece together and edit, and haven't been able to get it going yet. Hi Craig. Hi Nathan. So we'll be doing a stream first and third Monday of every month, and a video on every other Monday, as well as I'll be moving my vlogs to Fridays. So that should give me enough time to do the vlog on Thursdays and edit it Thursday night to get it out to you guys on Friday. And give me a couple of days over the weekend to hopefully film and start editing and everything like that. So I'm not rushed. Pardon me. But yeah, so unfortunately at the moment work's pretty hectic, and I haven't got enough time to do a lot of the things I do love, which is make videos for you guys. As well as even my fish tank maintenance has been slacking off lately, unfortunately. And that workload's about to get a little bit more because I am getting more Kmart tanks. Should be another 4 of those turn up this week sometime, actually, to start trying to breed my killifish. So I actually have 5 types of killifish at the moment, and I'm going to try and start breeding those and try and get a decent size colony of each going. So There on the cards, I've also started trying to breed the CPDs, the Celestial Peldenos. So hopefully that all goes well. If it does, I will make a video on that, even though there's like 101 different videos, but mine's a little bit different to the way Blake does it. So we'll see if this works, and if it does, I may do a video in the future at some point. And what else did I have here on my list? Oh yes, new scapes. So a few of my tanks are getting rescaped. Mainly this one behind me. Since taking a few of the plants out that made the scape look full, because I am actually shipping them off to people. Mainly that nice piece of driftwood that went out in the last stream I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last stream. When I did my 200 subscriber giveaway. So that's been shipped out, and that's now left a decent hole in the fish tank. So I'm definitely gonna have to rescape this one, move a few plants around, and get some root tabs and put underneath the Amazon swords, and just try and fill the tank in a little bit more. I think there's more than enough plants in that tank to separate them a little bit and replant them and fill them out. So hopefully that'll work. If not, I'll just buy a few more plants and see how that works. Also, I don't know if I can see it. Yeah, the little 2-foot tank I have up here, it's going out to the fish room. So that'll be getting rescaped and full of plants, and that will be a chocolate Gourami tank only, with the the Borneo Hill Stream Loach. So that'll just be the chocolate Gourami and the Borneo Hill Stream Loach. I've noticed that the chocolate Gouramis are starting to show breeding behavior. So I actually think I've had one that's held eggs and fry. So, but she's since I think dropped them. She did have a really nice fat mouth and cheek area, because they are a mouth breeder. So I'm not sure if she's still holding or if she's spat the babies, and unfortunately the killifish that I have in that tank have gobbled them up. So unfortunately that's what's happened there. So I'm going to have to move those out and put my killifish out of that tank into other tanks and top them out with a bit top that one, the little 2-foot up with up with some more aqua soil and get a bit better plantscape going. Pardon me, because at the moment it's overrun by hairgrass. So I'm gonna try and I might even look at cutting some little containers down and planting the hairgrass inside the containers underneath the soil, and try and keep the hairgrass contained to certain areas. Which we'll see how that all works out. I've just got to get some time to do all that. I was hoping to have that done 2 weeks ago, but still haven't done it. What else do we have on the list here? Oh yes, my 6-foot tank that I attempted to reseal. I mustn't have done a very good job because it is now leaking again. So we've drained the water out of that. All the fish and plants and everything have been moved into the 4-foot aquarium I had spare that I was keeping for the Patreon tank. But that's now been used as the spare tank that I've got all my spearfish in and like all my barbs and stuff like that. Pardon me, they're in that, so hopefully I can get that tank emptied and resealed within the next week or two. It's 3 parts empty because I emptied the water out of that one into the 4-foot aquarium. Surprisingly enough, the 4-foot aquarium is nearly the same volume as the 6-foot aquarium. Explain that one. I know the 4-foot aquarium is probably about another 6 inches taller than the 6-foot. So that's where the water volume comes in handy. Because the 4-foot aquarium is taller than the 6-foot. Bobby, yeah, I did. I just resealed the inside, so I might have to pull the tank out and pop the cut the seal completely out of the rear and reseal it properly. Yeah, I cut all the silicon out of the inside there, Chevy. And and tried resealing it all with fresh silicon on the inside. I just didn't cut the silicon out of the joint altogether. And Charlie, just give us an idea of one, what size tank you have, and two, what sort of fish you're keeping. That'd give us an idea on what sort of plants you can have, and what sort of substrate you have too. That comes into a factor, and the lighting situation. If it's a high light, plant light, pardon me, or just a standard white light. There's sort of 3 factors that come into play. What sort of fish you keep, well, 4 factors really. What sort of fish you keep, what size tank you have, what the substrate is, and what sort of light you have. I just drew a blank then. Is we sort of need, yeah. I can recommend plants that'll go in just about any tank, but if we know what you're looking at keeping and what size tanking that you have, it makes it a little bit easier. Because there's things like Anubias nana, and Java ferns, and stuff like that, which you can throw in just about any tank with any type of fish, and they should do fine. Because most Anubiases don't grow overly tall, especially Anubias nanas. They only grow to about 3 to 4 inches tall. Then you've got your Java ferns, which grow probably about. I keep forgetting that I'm in Australia and everyone I talk to deals in inches. Sorry, so about 10 centimeters tall for the Anubias, and the Java ferns grow to about 20 centimeters tall. So they'll go into most aquariums. The small Murray cod and aquanite plant. Yeah, okay. So I'd probably suggest something like Vallisneria. Would probably go alright in that. But what you might have to do is get something like a Chinese container and get some aqua soil or something and put the Vallisneria in the Chinese container. In the aqua soil, put that into your substrate, then just cover the top of the Chinese container and lightly around the Vallisneria, and that will help the Vallisneria keep in place. It will also give the Murray cod somewhere to hide and stalk around. What else is there? There's, again, like I said, the Anubiases and Java ferns. they'll go really well in that sort of tank. Because the Anubiuses and Java Ferns you can stick straight to some of the rock substrate and then just drop it back in wherever you want it to go and move it around whenever you want. Especially if you've got any sort of timber structure and stuff like that, you can stick it straight to the timber structure or tie it on with a bit of fishing line or a bit of cotton or something like that. What else is there that's fairly hardy and easy to grow? Oh crap, there's heaps, but I'm just trying to think that looks more natural for a Murray cod. So I'm trying to think more of a riverscape. You've got I suppose like the blue Strichia and stuff like that. If you can get it in your state, I'm not 100% sure where you are, but pardon me, if you can get the blue Strichias and that in your state, that's a bit of a native plant. That'll go well. Yeah, basically when you're looking towards the Murray cod and that, look for something that's hardy, especially in a rocky substrate. You want more stem plants or rhizome plants. Like I said, the Vallisneria, if you put it in like a Chinese container with a little bit of aqua soil, or dare I say it, even just organic dirt from outside, and make sure there's no chemicals on it. Pardon me, or even just go and get some cheap potting mix, organic potting mix. Sift out the chunky bits of wood and organics, like the bits of plant material and stuff like that, and just be left with the dirt, and plant that in your Chinese container with your Vallisneria. That's probably the cheapest way. And yeah, you can make if you plant the Vallisneria underneath your filter outlet, presuming that it's a spray bar or the flow is going away from the Vallisneria. As the Vallisneria grows up, it'll grow along the surface with the current. So it does look really good. I had a couple of pieces of Vallisneria, nearly 6-7 foot long. So what's that? 2 meters long with some of the leaves, because I had it trailing out over the top of my tank, and it does look really nice. All these nice ribbons coming up, and especially if you're feeding live foods like shrimp and yabbies, and even smaller fish, they'll get in and hide in amongst them plants and the jungle valve and thin Vallisneria and all that sort of stuff. They'll get in and hide amongst all that, and it'll be quite fun watching your Murray cod actually hunt. Hey there, Eric. Pretty sure I said hello to you at the start. Now I've got to go back and read the chat. I got kind of carried away talking about plants. But yes, Charlie, I hope that one does help you. Just be mindful that the Murray cod will probably outgrow that tank in a year or so. They do grow quite fast for their first year. So just be mindful that it may outgrow that tank very quickly. But yeah, definitely if you got some questions about the bigger natives, Chevy's definitely probably the person to ask. I'm pretty sure he's got a couple of really nice big tanks that I'm very keen to get down to Albury Wodonga when all this stuff blows over and actually check out his setup. it'd be lovely to actually get down there and see all that. So fishy, I'd probably recommend getting a silver perch, mainly because they're a lot easier to keep. They're a lot more hardier. Um, they can go in an unheated tank. Australian bass, you got to keep up around the 24 degrees. You can keep silver perch um, in a small school, so you can have one or like two or three of them together. The Australian bass, you can't. You can have sort of a one Australian bass per tank. They are pretty territorial um, and pretty aggressive, where the silver perch are a lot less aggressive. Um, no, Eric, sorry, they only got shipped out today actually. Um, I've been pretty busy with work, and I haven't been getting back in time to get them onto the outgoing shipment, so they get flown out. Um, and yeah, so I haven't been able to um, get them there until today. So they they all got shipped out today. So all those waiting on plants from the giveaway, they've been shipped out. They got shipped out today. Um, so yeah. Um, could a yabby go in a 5 liter tank? To be honest, that depends on what size yabby you have. If you've got a baby, fresh off its mother baby, which is probably about 3 to 4 millimeters long, yes, that's a 5 liter tank is absolutely fine. You could probably keep 20 or 30 of those size in a 5 liter tank. Um, but it depends on the size. If you've got small yabbies, small tank. As they get bigger, they're going to need more room because they start to get territorial, um, especially as they start to grow their claws out and they run out of hiding places and stuff like that. They will get territorial, so they'll need room to spread out. But if you've only got one yabby, I can't see why he could not go in a 5 liter aquarium as long as you're doing your water changes and it's aerated and all that sort of stuff. Um, so, so yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get away with putting one in a 5 liter if it's a decent size. Just be aware that yabbies, especially if you're talking about the native yabby, um, over sort of in New South Wales and stuff like that, they can grow to I think it's, what is it, up to 20 centimeters, maybe a little bit bigger. Then if you start to get into like the Murray blue crayfish and that, they get a little bit bigger again. So it all depends um, what sort of yabby you actually are keeping. If you're keeping some of the dwarf yabbies, which are bred for their color more than anything, um, yeah, 5 liters fine. Just make sure you have a tight fitting lid on that tank. Yabbies are known to climb up the silicon in the corner of the tank and climb out. So yeah, just be very careful about the size. of the yabby. It's the same as everything. If it's only small, you can keep it in a small tank. As it gets bigger, you keep them in a bigger tank. It's the same as everything. Um, Speaking of which, I have to work out how I can get a fish tank into my office at work without the manager knowing. Once it's in there, it's fine. It's getting it in past the manager. um, but yes, I'm definitely going to be taking a fish tank into work and um, and setting one up at work. That's what I was just saying there, Fisher. Yabbies can become very, very territorial, um, and they do like lots of hiding places and lots of area for them to hide. So if you don't provide that, it's best to stick to only one or two. It's the same as the long arm shrimp. You do need to keep them with you might have to keep them with you do have to keep long arm shrimp with a lot of hiding places and areas for them to get away from each other, because they do do fight, and it's the same with the yabby. Um, yeah, yabbies are very very good at doing that. I remember back when I was a kid, we used to keep them in um, polystyrene boxes when we used to do a lot of fishing and that. And if you didn't put the lid back on the polystyrene box, there would be yabbies everywhere the next morning. Um, and the and you had to put on like a wire mesh in the corner of the polystyrene box because they used to get into it and just dig into the corner and eventually dig their way through the box. The best thing to keep yabbies in was actually was an old ceramic bathtub and block off the drain hole, and at the shallow end of the bathtub, so you used to set it up on a slight angle, and at the shallow end of the bathtub, you used to put a like a small bale of hay or something in it. So as the hay slowly decomposed, that created um, the food for the yabbies because they eat decomposing material and stuff like that. It also created places for them to hide and stuff like that. And when we're going fishing, we always used to crack the claws, not break them off because they grow them back. But if you crack the claw, they won't repair them. They won't grow them back. So they don't fight and they don't kill each other. Um, but yeah, yabbies are very good at escaping. Same as turtles. They don't want to stay put. Yeah, pretty much then, eh? Cut the claw so it doesn't move. But um, yeah, if you cut the small pincer off, it works too. I just wasn't game enough as a kid to try and cut the claw. It was just easier to get it in your hand and just crush it. My grandfather used to take the claws off altogether because he used to boil the claws up and eat them. So, but then again, in the next week or two, they start growing their claws back. So you couldn't keep them for very long unless you were doing that all the time. Pardon me. It's pretty funny. They're Fisher. Yeah, we got squashed by the door. Yeah, that's good, Nate. 400 odd babies. Start selling those for $3 each, $4 each. Sitting on a gold mine when they get up around 2.5 centimeters, 3 centimeters long. I think the cheapest I've seen around here is nearly $1 a centimeter. So, and that's for bait yabbies. So, um, yeah, no worries there, Eric. Yeah, if she's the only one in the tank there, Eric, that's fine. But no, pardon me, your plants are on the way. So, um, they should be there very soon. I hope. I definitely hope they're there by Friday. If not, I'm gonna be dreading it, and I'm gonna have to send you more stuff. How long have I been yabbering on for? About half an hour. I always surprise myself on how far I yabber on. So yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you guys. What sort of videos do you want to see me make? Like, I know some users are fairly interested in the vlog videos I do each week, but that's sort of only a quick what's happening, what I've done that week. But so, what sort of videos do you actually want me to make? Type thing, like what do you guys want to watch or want to see me make so you guys can watch? I suppose that's more the point I'm trying to get across. Like, I'm happy doing anything. I do have a couple more reviews coming up that I do want to film, and I have filmed bits and pieces of them. I've just got to film the rest of it. And everything like that. So I'm also going to do a couple of another video on the DIY sponge filter that I've made for my 6-foot aquarium. I've also got the and stuff like that. So I've got a couple of DIY things I want to do. I've got a couple more reviews I want to do, but overall, it's up to you guys. In the long run, I suppose you guys are the ones watching them. So if you guys have any ideas, I'm quite happy to listen to them and definitely try and get them out for you guys. uh, if I had one, I might be able to do that there, Craig. But I don't have a BA Falcon, and I've never owned one, and I probably never will. Yeah, for sure. I've actually been looking into that myself. So that may be something that pops up. What else was there? You'd like to see vlogs and like with a tank dedicated video, like updates, aquascapes. and some more informative videos. So what's I've got a motorbike and I can definitely do videos on fixing it, Blake. Fortunately, mine runs. I just have to get the carby fixed, so it runs better. um, is that a challenge then, Nathan? I can definitely do things like that if you want me to. If you want to put a challenge to me, actually, that reminds me. That is a video I definitely have to do, especially now the weather's warmed up and I'm able to get back down to the river and stuff like that. Is I do have to do Blake's fish trap challenge video. Blake, I don't even own one of those, but I don't own one of those, but I don't know. I could probably do something like that. But yeah, I definitely do have to get back out and do your fish trap challenge video. I know it's been a long time in the making, but definitely got to do that. Um, it sounds like it there, Chevy. He definitely wants another rumble. Um, but no, I can definitely do some DIY videos. I do a fair bit of my stuff DIY. The problem is if I can remember correctly, it was a, a fish trap challenge that you had to make your own fish trap and go out and place it somewhere and see what you catch. Here in New South Wales, you have to abide by a fair few laws in regards to fisheries. Um, and what size fish trap has to be, what size holes the fish trap has to have, and all that sort of stuff, so it doesn't catch the platypus and things like that. Um, Also, you're not allowed to take live finned fish from live or dead finned fish that aren't at legal size from the waterways. You're actually not allowed to transport any live finned fish or live finned fish. So you're allowed to take yabbies and long arm shrimp, but you're not allowed to take, say, Murray cod or anything like that from the waterway, unless you have a professional's license and all this other stuff. But then, in the Lachlan River, Craig, you're not allowed to use the Opera House net. So I think that's nearly banned in New South Wales altogether, um, unless you're on private property. Since I'll be doing it in the Lachlan River when we get a little bit less rain and it dies down and clears up a little bit, or I might be able to go up to the local dam, which is Wyangla Dam, which is probably about 45 minutes away from my place, and try it there. Yeah, that's even in streams here in New South Wales. Um, it's pretty strict on what you can take and what you can't. So I've got to be very, very careful. I've got to make sure my fishing license is actually up to date before I can do any of this. Because if my fishing license isn't up to date, I can get in a lot of trouble. Um, Yeah, it is a great net. The problem with them was people would throw them in the water and leave them unattended, and then come back 2 days, 3 days later, and there'd be platypus in it. So that's why you've got to make sure now that the hole size is actually small enough so a platypus can't get its head in, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, they opera house nets are great for what they catch, but the problem is they catch everything. So the fishery is kind of frowned upon them, because if people had the opera house net in and they were sitting there watching it, it was fine. Like if you see a platypus coming up the stream, you can pull your net in and that, or if you're checking your net periodically, it's okay because you can chance you'll pull the net out before the platypus drowns. But for people that leave the nets there, the platypus drowns, and that's a lovely animal that's drowned because of that net. Same as like gill nets and stuff like that. They don't have they don't select what they want to catch. They just catch everything. Yeah, the worst thing is there, Chevy, that the platypus can only hold his breath for like 3 minutes or something. So if he goes down and under the water and goes inside one of these nets, yeah, they pardon me, they drown pretty quickly. I prefer to use the old lift net if I'm after yabbies, but then again, when I'm after yabbies, I usually use a drag net, and I'm in a private dam, so um, yeah, I don't generally catch anything I'm not after in my nets. I do use the good old good old Kmart bait trap, um, which is your traditional rectangular trap with the two holes in it, with one hole in each end. Is generally what I use. So when I'm after the long arm shrimp for bait or for bringing home, which reminds me, I do have to go out and try and catch a few more of those, because unfortunately I've had a couple die. I think they're just getting picked on by the other fish. Pardon me. So yeah, I'll definitely do that fish trap challenge for Blake's Aquatics, and we'll definitely look at doing a few more informative videos and new scape videos and stuff like that you guys want to see. So I'll definitely try and get those out when I can. What else we got? I think I'm running out of stuff to say. Hey there, Jesse. Good to see you. Hey, Truth the Loop. I think you're a new name here. I'm glad you could come along. It's been a while since I've seen Jesse in one of these streams, I suppose. And again, it is pretty early over there. Pardon me. So yeah, well, I suppose we'll get it back on. So I'll just touch back on the things I have said so far, just for those few people that weren't here at the start. We're getting some more 20-litre tanks, so 5-gallon tanks, for some new breeding setups, and and stuff like that for my killifish. We're gonna try and get into breeding those fairly well now. I'm also getting a few more sort of 10 litre or 2.5 gallon plastic tubs to raise the fry. Try and raise the eggs up and raise the fry when they're newborns. Got to rescape a couple of my tanks and buy more plants. I don't know what it is. Every time I go to find plants and spread plants around my tanks, I always seem to run out. I'm not growing plants fast enough, and when I do, I tend to take them back to the pet shop so I can get more fish food. Funny how that works. You grow plants, you sell plants, you get fish food. Then you need more tanks, you don't have the plants. Funny cycle that. Actually, I do have some endlers that need to go back to. I need to start selling soon. I have neon blue endlers. I have probably about 10 or so pairs that I can sell off, and the local fish store is quite happy to buy them at $8 a pair. So that'll help the kitty a little bit, and help buy some more frozen foods, which I am starting to get very, very low on. Also, my Silverado endlers have just started producing fries, so that's good. In the next month or two, I should have enough to start selling back as well, so that'll be great. Yeah. Oh, that's great there, Jesse. I was wondering how they'd go. It sounds like they're going good though. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think they'd go in full salt. I thought they were more a brackish water. I didn't think they'd go in full salt. But that's very interesting. Actually, pseudomoguls. I've got to get some rice fish and some pseudomoguls. Around here, they're pretty expensive to pick up. I think like the Pacific blue eyes. I think the cheapest I've seen around here is like $18 a fish, and the Daisy's rice fish. Actually, sorry, the orange Malacca rice fish. I think they were 22 or $24. So they're pretty expensive fish. But in saying that, they're a beautiful fish. And I know in probably the CBDs and that and bigger cities and stuff like that, they're a lot more frequent. No, you won't have to, Alan. I've got a tank full of guppy grass. um, so actually, I think I've got a bit of guppy grass in every single tank because a little piece seems to end up getting caught on another plant and ends up in every single tank. Oh, that's awesome, Jesse. Did you breed them or did you buy them in? And Alan, that the club meeting should be getting pretty close, I think, shouldn't it? Would it be in another week or two? I think I'm bringing a couple of pair of my neon blue endlers down. see how they go at the auction. It is just a pity we can't import them in, because we'd be sitting on a gold mine, Jesse. Absolute gold mine. Unfortunately, it's easy as hell at my end. I've only got to tell the border authorities that I'm bringing them in with an ABN number, and I can get them in. It's everything has to happen at your end. Is the problem? The whole like 1 month quarantine before they go to the quarantine area over there, then spend another 14 days in quarantine at your end, then come over to here and spend another 14 days in quarantine at this end before they get released. Um, I looked into it, and yeah, at my end, it's as easy as easy. You only have to pay for the quarantine feeding and that for like what's that for, Bobby? Importing fish or yeah, Jesse, that's the biggest problem. And that's why I think that's why all fish are expensive over here if they're imported in. Um, like they're nearly sitting in import areas um, for like 2 months. So you can imagine that people importing fish over here, like neon tetras, just imagine the amount of neon tetras they would have to buy to hopefully get 50% of them come into Australia and be alive. Um, so yeah, that's it's a big gamble, and you can see why not a why not a lot of people import fish. Hey Kevs, don't think I've seen you here before. Great to see you here. Even though I think I am starting to, I don't even know how long I've been going for. Actually, yeah, I'm getting close to closing this up very shortly. Actually, um, pardon me. Yeah, so I think I have to get a saltwater tank going myself. I just don't know how I'm going to do it or what I'm going to do it with. Um, I would love to set up a big saltwater tank. Um, for my first saltwater tank. Yeah, no worries there, Chevy. I'm finishing up very shortly now, anyway. Um, but yeah, so I like to get a saltwater tank up and going, but one, I don't know where to start. I have most of the stuff because I packed up a saltwater tank and turned it into a freshwater tank for the in-laws. They had a nice big saltwater tank, like a 5 foot by 2 foot tall, I think a foot and a half wide um, saltwater tank, and I ended up with all the stuff. So I've got I didn't take the sump because I reused the sump on the freshwater setup. But I've got the rest of the stuff. I can't even remember what they're called now. Um, yeah, I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, I've got most of the stuff I need for a saltwater tank. I just need to probably clean it all out and make sure it all runs, and then get it up and running and going. So, um, pardon me, and yeah, so I do have to do a lot more research into getting a saltwater tank and just see what I need. Because if I'm going to go saltwater, I'm going to go reef. I can't not go reef. Um, and if I go reef, then I'm going to go coral frag and grow my own corals and grow corals out to sell back to the fish store, because that's what I do. Um, uh, to a dam that I actually know has yabbies. Probably about 15 minutes. Well, fish, if you could figure out how to keep a single great white shark in a certain area, um, and you know exactly that it's the shark that you have fed every single day, then I could guess you could say you kind of keep it. Um, but yeah, pardon me. Crap. Don't know where that yawn come from. I think that'd be my biggest trouble there, Jesse. Like I've talked to the like my local fish store owner. Um, he's uh, how do you put it? He's a marine biologist dropout. So he went to uni to do marine biology and sort of done 3/4 of the course, then dropped out. Um, so he knows a fair bit of stuff that he's talking about when he starts talking about saltwater tanks and stuff like that, and that sort of stuff. So I'm using him um, to sort of guide me in buying all this stuff. So hopefully he pushes me in the right direction and not over the top when it comes to price. But like I said, I do have most of the stuff. I just have to get a tank, and I'm thinking the 4 foot tank um, with a 2 foot sump. So a 180 liter tank with a sump. So I'm thinking of just actually buying a NACA 1 um, reef. I think it's an NACA 1 reefer or something like that, um, to to um to set that up. So which comes with the sump as well. So it comes with everything that you need to get a saltwater tank going. But then you need to upgrade and upgrade the stuff out of it for better stuff. So I do have some better stuff to start with. So um, it'll be good to save up a little bit and see about getting one of those and setting it up in the fish room. But I need an RO unit first and stuff like that. So um, and yeah, so that's one of my goals in fish keeping, and I'm hoping to do that in the next 12 months. I'm definitely hoping to get that all going in the next 12 months. Definitely gonna have a saltwater tank of some description in 12 months. But unfortunately, guys, I'm actually going to close it up here because we have somehow cracked over the hour. By me, so um, thanks everyone for coming along and listening to me rant and rave and just have a good old chat. That's what I like about these lives, is the fact that I can just relax, have a chat, and do sweet stuff all. Um, but yes, if you guys are around the Canberra district or around Canberra, and you just want to come along and see me at the local fish club meetings, um, feel free to. At the moment, I'm not 100% sure when the next meeting is, um, but I'll definitely be there. I hope. Like I said, I'm going to take some fish with me to that auction. So hopefully, if you're there, I'll catch you there. I know I'll definitely see Alan there. So thanks everyone for coming along, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.